Good evening, this is Mackenzie with the MNB Wrestling Report at www.mnbwrestling.com, and this is the weekend review for March 6th, 2011. It was a pretty exciting week as far as Raw and SmackDown goes. Some of the more exciting highlights include the return of Evan Bourne on Raw, Triple H and Undertaker cutting some really good promos, though there were some things I questioned about Triple H's. The absolute annihilation of Sheamus, and the build to WrestleMania continuing. So let's go ahead and start out with Raw. Triple H got a great promo starting his feud with The Undertaker for WrestleMania. I have one issue with what he said, and that is he basically said that other than each other, at this point, there is absolutely nobody on the Raw or SmackDown roster that is a match for them. I grant you, they have been around 16 and 21 years, respectively. I respect them for that. But that just basically buried the entire rest of the locker room. That's basically saying, oh, all these other guys that are the main guys going to be around when we're gone, they aren't even in our league. So why are we even going to worry about them? And then to top things off, Sheamus comes out, who is the one who put Triple H out of action a month after last WrestleMania, and he comes into the ring and he never even gets an attack in. Triple H absolutely decimates him, pedigrees him through the table, and they announce that Sheamus still has to have a match, and out comes the returning Evan Bourne, who came back from injury. It's wonderful to see him back. I'm a big Evan Bourne fan. It looked like they were giving him a good push. His matches against Jericho were great. Hoping they really do something with him here, though he's probably too late to get involved in Mania. Especially with no Money in the Bank match this year. I'll get to that a little later. So we had Sheamus lose within about 2 minutes to Evan Bourne after getting demolished by Triple H. Whatever Sheamus had going for him, he's obviously lost, because since he became King of the Ring, he has barely won a match. The only thing I can possibly think they're doing with him is one of two things. Either one, they feel like he didn't really pay his dues since he came up so fast, and he's losing a bunch now in order to do that. Or two, they're having him lose a lot right now with the intention of doing kind of what they did with MVP, whereas, he's going to be picked to face somebody. They're going to make a big deal about his losing streak. He'll face some big heel and end up going babyface by winning the match and saving a babyface in a stipulation. Sheamus has a unique look, which lends itself a lot to him being a babyface. I figured it was just a matter of time. So that could very well be what they're doing. We'll just have to see where it goes. The rest of Raw was still decent. We had The Rock return fire on John Cena. What I thought was a very passionate, heartfelt promo. I thought it was excellent. Just really went out there and developed the storyline that's going on between Cena and The Rock and The Miz, even though you might not realize it yet. I'm really liking what they're doing with the Cena, Rock, Miz thing, in that they're promoting it as if Miz doesn't factor into the equation, as if the main event for WrestleMania is Cena and The Rock, and The Miz facing Cena for defending the title against Cena is unimportant. And Miz is starting to get angry about it, and he's starting to get aggressive, and that's a good thing to see. We also had a great little take from HBK talking about his thoughts on the Undertaker Triple H match. Great to see him again. The rest of Raw the main event especially was disappointing. I mean, the cage match between Cena and Alex Riley was just boring beyond belief, But we had some great promos, and they did a good job building the storylines. I also like what they're doing with Randy Orton and CM Punk, with the stip that Randy has to face the other members of Punk's new Nexus, in one-on-one matches. And as long as Randy wins, that Nexus member is banned from ringside at WrestleMania. If Randy loses, that member is allowed to be at ringside alongside Punk legally. My guess would be is Randy beats Otunga next week, and then the week after that, he will lose to Mason Ryan by some kind of interference. But overall, I thought it was a good Raw. Moving on to what happened on SmackDown. SmackDown, they did a pretty good job of building the Edge Alberto Del Rio feud. Edge debuted what looked like a modified version of the Sharpshooter. I'm not really sure what to call it. They played it up as Edge is proving to Alberto that he can play the submission game too. He can make Alberto tap out. So that was kind of neat to see the way they built that. Cody Rhodes cut one of, I think, probably the best promo he's had since he's come to WWE. I thought it was really good. I liked the way he showed kind of the manic, twisted, disturbed, like he's on the razor's edge of losing it, and he did a really good job. Mysterio versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania should be an excellent match. Taker's promo was amazing as always. He cut another great promo. Taker and Triple H, I hope the guys in the back were taking notes because they put everybody to school. They basically just said, hey guys, here's how you cut a promo. Take notes. They did better than anything we've seen in ages. So, I'm really looking forward to that match. So the road to WrestleMania is building up quite nicely. So far as official matches, we have Triple H versus Taker. We got Cena versus Miz for the WWE title. Edge versus Alberto Del Rio for the World Heavyweight title. We've got CM Punk versus Randy Orton. And we've got the Michael Cole versus Jerry the King Lawler. We've learned a little bit more about that match. Jack Swagger is going to be in Michael Cole's corner. And there is going to be a guest referee to be named by Michael Cole on this Monday's Raw. So we'll see how that continues to shape up. Other than that, as far as the rest of the matches that seem to be coming up on the card, it looks like we're going to have Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus for the United States title. And we're going to have, obviously, Cody Rhodes, Rey Mysterio. The rest of the card, not quite finalized. My guess is we're going to see something with Big Show and the Core. On another note from SmackDown that I almost looked over, we did have the return of Christian, who came out to save Edge from Del Rio again. He's officially back in action next week. He's apparently wrestled his first house show just the other day. So great to see Christian back. I hope they get him involved in Mania. So that about wraps it up this week as far as WWE and the Week in Review goes. Once again, I'm Mackenzie at MNBWrestling.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Mackenzie99. We'll have a review of Raw up tomorrow evening, and then on Tuesday I will do my second installment of my WrestleMania 27 predictions and preview, where I will give my thoughts on the matches that are established and how they're continuing to build the storylines, and my predictions of what matches are still to be announced. Got a lot of positive feedback on it last time. I hope I continue to do so. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on the site. Once again, that's MNBWrestling.com.